Reddit has very dark secrets. Like, it's known for having some of the most disturbing and weird people on there. No shade. But somebody has to unravel these dark secrets. So I would ever be so grateful if y'all would join me to see, one, how dark these secrets really are, and two, what happened to the people responsible for these horrible actions.
On the 31st of March, Reddit user City, State posted a disturbing entry on the Reddit Bureau of Investigation subreddit. The title of the entry was, "What could have been the reason why someone operated on my dog?" It read, "I originally posted this to another sub, now deleted, and was insisted that I repost this here instead.
Okay.
I live alone in a suburban area, and when I go out, whether it's for work, social gatherings, shopping, or whatever, I leave my dog. He's a Labrador to play in my backyard with plenty of food and water.
Gorgeous dogs.
He's a pretty healthy dog, normal weight, and had nothing wrong with him. I would say I live in a pretty safe neighborhood and never had anything bad happen to my dog while I was away. Yesterday, I came back home from work in shock to see that my dog had been stitched up.
What?
In shock, I immediately rushed to him, called and took him to a vet. I visited the vet for checkups, so the vet knows him. Strangely, the doctor who was inspecting him said that whoever was operating on him actually did a pretty good job, and for whatever reason, took out part of his fat.
Oh, that's not funny.
The wounds are of both his lower and upper belly. Pictures here. Luckily, he isn't in any danger, but the doctor said he would be in some pain for some weeks. Normal for wounds. I was prescribed painkillers and antibiotics for my dog. I was also given a cone for him to wear so he wouldn't lick his wounds. Naturally, I asked him if a Labrador came into the vet today, as in yesterday, and he and the receptionist said no, and they said to their memory it's the first time they saw my dog that day. So this got me and my doctor thinking, either someone operated on him or someone took him to another vet and got him operated for whatever reason.
He was gone?
In the meantime, I have reported this to the police and have called other vets around my town, and no luck as of yet. Due to this, I am still unsure what could have caused this. Who and why would someone take parts of fat out of my dog? I don't have any enemies, nor any past relationship partners come to mind who may do this.
God damn, what the f is your enemies, Batman? Like, who's gonna do something like that? That's like the Riddler. Like, that's actually insane, yo.
I've also spoken to some neighbors, and they said they didn't notice anything strange around the neighborhood or near my house. I also don't have any cameras. People on Reddit quickly began speculating on what could have happened. Some wondered if this was the work of a medical student looking to practice, or a budding serial killer.
Oh my god, it's another Jeffrey Dahmer. It's another Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm calling it. I shouldn't call that. I'm sorry. I need to stop with the Jeffrey Dahmer jokes because, as you see, I'm a young, black, handsome man. I don't want to say too much, but that's his pure demographic. And I'm definitely in that.
As for the potential serial killer theory, why would they cut open a dog only to stitch it back and return it to the owner instead of just disposing of the body? But there were some more reasonable theories as well, stating that the dog must have injured its stomach while jumping over the fence. Someone then saw the wounded dog and took it to the vet for treatment before leaving it back in OP's yard. Or maybe the dog successfully jumped over the fence only to get hit by a car, and the person driving the car took it to the vet and dropped it off after the operation. However, a major flaw in both theories is why the person who took it to the vet didn't leave a note explaining the situation. If it was an accident, maybe the person didn't want to get in trouble. But even then, leaving an anonymous note would have been the right thing to do. A comment from user Banana Phone quickly rose to the top as it offered a more plausible explanation for what might have happened during the OP's absence. That rubber thing sticking out appears to be a Penrose drain, which is most commonly used to allow a wound to weep and drain through the hole where it comes out of the skin, which prevents the skin from closing into a pocket and turning into a huge infected abscess, which requires secondary treatment and antibiotics. This is most commonly seen in my personal professional experience after bites from another animal, as the bacteria in dog/cat mouths can be difficult to totally disinfect after the fact and often leads to abscesses. While the general consensus is that dog mouths are cleaner than cats, there's still plenty of bacteria in your average dog's mouth that could lead to infection. That drain will need to be removed in a few days to a week after the risk of infection is passed. My guess would be, with the size of the incision, another dog got into a fight with yours, whether it jumped the fence into your backyard and picked the fight itself, or somehow your dog was accidentally able to be out of his fence, and the owner felt guilty but did not want to get sued or put their dog down. I double this hypothesis because if they put him back, they knew where he lives, and that means he was probably inside the fence when the incident occurred, and hiding the conflict probably means his dog has a history of aggression, to the point where it jumped your fence and attacked. I suspect the pellet/gunshot less, because anyone who would shoot a dog in its own yard is probably not going to have the moral compass to get it treated. Needs $700,000.
I need $700,000
On November 6, 2015, a Reddit user named Bangarang made a deeply concerning and odd post on the site reading, Need $700,000.
Okay.
What do? I need it by January 2016 or I'm dead from the mob. What are my options though? Now, if this was posted in subreddits like r/advice or r/helpme, people would have taken it more seriously.
Yeah.
However, for whatever reason, Bangarang decided to post this plea for help in r/sadboys.
Okay.
This is a subreddit for the fans of the Sad Boys music collective that emerged in the early 2010s, primarily associated with Swedish rapper Young Lean and his music group Sad Boys. So, a completely unrelated post like this left most people confused about what it meant. Not sure if this is real. So confused. What is this?
I'll be confused too.
Some users wondered if this was some obscure reference to Sad Boys music. Is this a reference to Lean being worth $700,000? However, most users quickly realized that Bangarang was serious when he began responding to some of the less serious joke comments with sincere replies. Let me ghostwrite your next mixtape. I need all the help I can get. But
Bro's
that's
not
when the post
joking.
took a
He's not
disturbing
playing
turn.
around.
One user jokingly told the OP to end it by jumping off a bridge and shoot himself while falling.
And his name is suicidal_2003. Like, I don't get how y'all get on the internet and say like crazy stuff to people like this. And then like once it actually happens, they don't want to take accountability. Like, grow up, bro.
However, instead of getting offended, Bangarang replied with something that made everything way more unsettling. Think they'll get to me before I can make any moves. Alongside this, he posted a link to an eerie photo, a group of men standing in the middle of a street with multiple cars lined up behind them. The way the photo was framed suggested that OP took it while hiding in the bushes, as if he was watching from a distance, afraid to be seen. At this point, people wanted answers. And after some back and forth in another thread, Bangarang finally explained what had gotten him into this situation. Was involved in a fight where an 18-year-old kid was killed. I was on drugs and had a bad temper. I was always protective of my friends, especially John. John was in a band and was taking off. He had a Facebook page, so he deactivated it. He made a new one. One of his friends that made a new one got real mad that he deleted the old page and thought he didn't want anything to do with her or his old friends because of the new fame and band. John tried to explain to her that wasn't the case. When he tried to, I peered over John's shoulder, read their texts, and got heated. I started trash-talking the girl. She got her boyfriend's friends to meet me and my friends out in the desert for a brawl. One of the guys there was with the gang members' guys group and pulled out a gun to shoot me and my friends. One of my friends grabbed the gun from him and ended up shooting the guy and killing him, the dude that pulled out the gun in the first place. Then after the fight, I violated my probation. The cops were already after me for drug use. They found out I was involved in the fight and the shooting of the guy, and they added the battery charge. I wasn't charged with murder, but was involved in the fight, which is why they added assault and battery charges, plus the probation violation. But I continued with drug use and violated my probation by leaving the state. Now I'm sobered up, I just turned 23, and I'm in a real bad place with some people from the past. While these responses provided some important context for OP's situation, it still didn't explain why the mob was after him now, or how having $700,000 would help him stay alive. By this point, people had stopped joking. It was clear that this was most likely real. One user finally spoke up, saying what everyone else was thinking. First of all, why are you posting this here? Second, run, get out of town.
Bro, that's such a random place to post it.
I got no one. After learning about his sheer helplessness, user PizzaMan2345 chimed in with some detailed and practical advice to help Bangarang escape with his life. Get yourself into jail and tell them to safely escort you to an airport afterwards. If you warn them about the mob and spread the word, the police will look stupid if you die soon afterwards. Then if you do get to the airport, take several planes to several places and settle down somewhere far away. No matter how uncaring a police department is, they should listen to your plea for help. It might also help if you have a writer friend who can tell the whole story if they don't escort you. Let the police know as a last resort that they will be flamed online for not dealing with the mob themselves and for letting you loose, only for you to die right after. This of course involves you being in jail for a while, which if not the case leads me to say that you should simply leave the country now. Use your head, don't drug your problems away, either work hard and loan the rest or just run.
Yeah, that's
Unfortunately, we'll never know if this advice helped him or not. A day after making the original post, Bangarang stopped replying to any more comments and hasn't posted anything on Reddit since. As for if the story was legit or not, we have no way of knowing for sure.
Dipped.
The Bangarang account was likely a throwaway since it was created the same day as the post. I also tried reverse image searching the picture he posted, and while there are many similar looking images online, I couldn't find anything that matches the OP picture to a T and predated the Reddit thread. And since Bangarang didn't provide any clues about his location, I couldn't find any relevant news articles from that time either. Most users under the original thread believe the OP was likely caught and killed by the mob. However,
just
it's
fled
been
the
over
country.
9 years since the original post with no updates since, and I doubt we'll ever learn the truth.
That's crazy, yo. Hopefully, I pray one of y'all are not in that situation. These stories are actually insane, and Reddit is a crazy place, but TikTok, it's even weirder. Thank y'all so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate y'all so much. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. I love y'all. Peace.